Some breakfast cereal is fired from a cannon. Grain is loaded into a sealed steel gun, heated until it is ready to burst, then blasted out in a single crack. In that instant, each tiny kernel puffs up many times its size. That cannon is just one secret behind how breakfast cereal is made, and it is one of the most interesting facts hiding in your kitchen. But the strangest thing of all is buried in the flakes, and you could pull it out with a magnet. The whole story began by accident. Two brothers ran a health retreat in America, feeding guests plain, boring food. One day they left a pot of boiled grain sitting out and forgot it. The grain went stale and dried out. Rather than toss it, they pushed it through rollers, expecting a sheet of dough. Instead, each softened grain broke into a thin, separate flake. They toasted the flakes, and a brand new food was born. So the very first cereal was not a treat at all. It was designed as bland health food, meant to be dull on purpose. There was no sugar, no color, no crunchy sweetness, just plain toasted grain, sold as something good for you. The sugar came much later, and it changed breakfast forever. Inside the factory, it starts with humble grain, corn, wheat, oats, or rice, poured in by the mountain. Corn arrives already broken into little pieces called grits. The hard hull and oily germ are stripped away, leaving only the starchy heart. These plants almost never sleep. The best ones run day and night, swallowing oceans of grain and turning it into millions of boxes. Those grits are tipped into giant pressure cookers, in go malt for flavor, a little sugar, and salt. The grain tumbles for hours under steam and pressure. It comes out soft, sticky, and swollen. Nothing like a crisp flake yet. That malt is a quiet trick of its own. It is barley, sprouted, and then dried. It brings a deep, toasty sweetness. It is the flavor that makes a plain corn flake taste like more than corn. I always get curious about who is listening right now. Maybe a kitchen in Canada, a flat in Turkey, a house somewhere in Vietnam. Cereal sill has slipped onto breakfast tables across the whole planet, so I would love to know which country you are in this morning. Not the town, the country. Now, back to the machines. The cooked grain is far too wet to become a flake, so it is dried, then left to rest. This resting step is secretly vital. The moisture has to spread out evenly through every single grain. Too wet in the middle, and the flake tears apart. Too dry, and it shatters into dust. The grain must be perfectly, evenly damp. Only then does it meet the rollers. Two massive metal cylinders spin together, with a hair-thin gap between them. Each swollen grain is caught and squashed flat in a fraction of a second. One grain becomes one flake. Thousands are flattened every moment, raining down in a soft blizzard. The gap between those rollers is set with fierce precision, a hair too wide, and the flake is thick and chewy, a hair too tight, and it crumbles to powder before it leaves the machine. But a flat, damp flake is limp and lifeless. It needs fire. So here is a choice for you: a thin, crackly cornflake or a puffed, airy rice pop. One word: flake or puff, write it below. The flakes are blasted through a roaring oven, hotter than a pizza furnace. In seconds, the last water inside flashes away. The flake bubbles, blisters, and turns golden and crisp. That toasting does two jobs at once. It builds the crunch, and it drives out moisture so the flake can survive a bath in cold milk. That crunch is taken very seriously. Factories measure the exact snap of a flake because a louder crunch makes it taste fresher. Toasting also fills each flake with tiny hidden air pockets. That is its weakness. Milk slowly creeps into those pockets, and that is the moment your cereal turns soft. Now back to that cannon from the start. Puffed cereal takes a wilder path. Whole grains are sealed inside a heavy chamber and heated hard. The water trapped inside each grain turns to steam, straining to escape. Pressure climbs and climbs, with nowhere to go. Then the chamber is flung open. The pressure vanishes. In an instant, the steam explodes outward, and every grain bursts like popcorn. One breath, and a hard little seed becomes a light, airy puff, fired from a gun, exactly as it sounds. A single grain can swell to several times its old size. Most of that new bulk is just trapped air, which is why a bowl of puffs feels almost weightless. Some cereals are not cooked whole at all. They are built from scratch. Grain is the flour, mixed into a dough, then forced through a shaped hole under pressure. Spinning blades slice the ribbon into loops, stars, or letters. That is how you get perfect little rings, all identical. Squeezed out like toothpaste, then cut faster than the eye can follow. Many of these get a sweet suit of armor. A fine mist of sugar syrup is sprayed over the hot cereal. As it dries, it hardens into a thin, frosty shell. That shell is what stays crunchy and what makes the milk turn sweet. The sugar goes on as the cereal tumbles inside a huge spinning drum. Every piece rolls through the mist, so each one comes out evenly coated. Those little colored marshmallows are not cereal at all. They are made somewhere else, dried into hard foam shapes, then simply stirred in at the end. And now the strangest part of all. The paradox hiding in every healthy bowl. That long, fiery journey does something no one wants. The intense heat destroys many of the vitamins in the grain. So the goodness on the label would be cooked right out. The factory has to solve a strange problem. How do you put the vitamins back in? The answer is to add them at the very end. After the heat, the cereal is sprayed with a fine coat of vitamins, like an invisible dusting. Entire countries once pushed for this. Adding vitamins to cereal became a quiet way to fight disease, turning a breakfast snack into a delivery system for nutrients. The healthy part of your cereal is often painted on last, sprayed on after everything else is done. And one of those added nutrients is stranger than the rest: the iron. The iron in many cereals is not some gentle plant mineral. It is real powdered iron metal, tiny specks of the same stuff as a nail or a magnet. Crush the flakes in water, stir it to a mush, and drag a strong magnet through. Thin black threads of iron gather and follow the magnet, pulled straight out of your breakfast. You are, in a very real way, eating flecks of metal. Your stomach acid dissolves them, and your body uses that iron to carry oxygen in your blood. There is one last trick in the box itself. Open it, and the bag looks half empty, which feels like a cheat. It is not. The cereal is packed by weight, not by how full it looks. Bouncing on trucks shakes the flakes down and squeezes the air out, so the whole bag settles on its way to you. And that inner bag is waxy for a reason. Cereal is thirsty. It pulls water straight from the air and turns stale and soft. The sealed liner locks the damp out and the crunch in. So look at the whole impossible journey in a single flake. A forgotten pot of grain. A dull health food that learned to love sugar. Grain cooked, rested, and crushed thinner than paper. Toasted in fire or blasted from a cannon. Then dusted with vitamins and seeded with real metal. All of it, so a handful of plain grain can become a light, sweet, crunchy bowl that even carries iron into your blood. I still cannot get my head around one of these. That you can pull real iron out of your cereal with nothing but a magnet. Which fact surprised you the most?